Good design, first I think it made on well-layered code. Okay, that's very important to remove the cycles. So often we can see that developers are doing small mistakes, like from a low-level component are using high-level component. And when this little mistake accumulates, after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, the code base is a real big spaghetti plate, and it's very hard to work on it. It's very unpleasant. Okay, so I really would advise to check for all these minor problems that at the end of the day completely impair the development of the application. And so really the answer is achieve a well-layered code base with a very low level, a bit lower level, and high level components. It's very important that each component, you know exactly what is used by each component and who is using each component. That's very important. This I'm a little bit extremist. I say 100%. Okay, so I know it's shocking a lot of person, because often I hear that 90% is much enough. But what you can see is that often the 10% code remaining that are very hard to test, it's code that is not testable. And Agile process told us that not testable means not well designed. Okay, and we know that when it's not well designed, it's often error prone. So basically, when people say 90% is much enough, they just say that the 10% most error code is not worth being covered, and I don't think this is smart to do that, because actually we want to cover first the most error-prone code. So I would advise to refactor the code to make it testable, very easily testable. You can introduce new classes, new interfaces, even new namespaces, but at the end of the day, your code must be very easily testable, whatever the code is. And if you have some not testable code, like you have blocking call, like to messagebox.show, I would say that this code should be isolated into some special classes that are designed especially to not be covered by tests. When you pass a code analysis tool like NDepend or Fixscope on a code base, you have a lot of problems. So it's very hard to answer this question, but first, I would say first the design. You have a lot of cycles, the levelization, the layering is not respected on most of code bases. Second, you have dead code. Often you can see a lot of dead code in code base that are not needed anymore. So you have a lot of quality problems. You have side effect problems. People are not used yet to use things like pure method or immutable types. And this is things. I think that what's interesting with analysis tool is that once you look on your code base what it gets violated, it can teach you something. It can tell you violated that, so you're not using this principle, and suddenly you learn about this principle, which can be interesting. We are very serious about code rule. We consider them as compiler warning, and compiler warning must be treated as error. So basically, when we have a rule violated, we consider that this is a real problem, so we fix it. And after doing that for many years, we are living in what we call the green zone. Okay, the green zone, it's as soon as you have a problem, you are aware about it and you can fix it. And often, like for example, having dead code, it's not so much a problem. Having 1 or 2 methods not used anymore, it's not so much a problem. But often you can see that if a method is not used, there is a reason why it's not used. And maybe you can see a bugs, or you can see something a bit nasty in your code that is not clean enough. So what I want to say is that when you live in a green zone, each time you have a rule violated, okay, it will tell you something very interesting about your code, and even it will let you fix a bug. And so the real benefits of using tools like NDepend is to live in the green zone and fix as many bugs as possible as soon as possible. So in NDepend there is a version for Java, which is named GArchitect. There is a version for C++, which is named CPP-Depend. You have a version for VB6, which is called VB-Depend, because VB.NET is supported by NDepend because it's .NET code, and NDepend handles all .NET code, so F#, VB.NET, C#, and all other languages. And yeah, that's it. And we have planned for more, like ODepend for Objective-C static analyzer. So for now we have all this Java, C++, and .NET, and VB6.